If it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Los Angeles Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Next on Madden Football.
Well, the temperatures are cooling off, but the sun is still shining, and that makes for perfect football weather in the city of Pittsburgh at Acrisure Stadium.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line for both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
A kicker, Chris Boswell, has it ready to go, and we are underway from Pittsburgh. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And he is just absolutely marvelous to watch throw a football. That's something I could do all day long, watch him throw routes versus air. But he's even more impressive when there are bodies on the field, and he's creating with big throws downfield.
On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 2. Another run here with Dobbins. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here that if you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Now 4th down, so the Chargers trot out J.K. Scott. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin.
Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. So not just running into the punter, but roughing the punter.
And I'm struggling with this one. You know, you're watching it, partner. Is it more the first rather than the latter? This is a tough one. Almost feels like he felt like he had to call it on that play.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. It's taken in by Quentin Johnston. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
So the completion good for just 3. And it's 2nd down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, Quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal.
This will be from 49 yards out. And his kick is good. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
2nd and 5.
They run again with Harris. Fights him off. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 8.
Harris running straight ahead. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
He's brought down after a pickup of 5, but he needed 8. 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Oh, boy, kind of hold your breath here because Justin Herbert, he appears to be in some discomfort after that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Throwing, Heineke. Now this one finds McConkey.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here now, 2nd and 4. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And that's going to be good for a Chargers first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
To throw is Heineke.
Steps away to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Heineke now. That one complete to McConkey.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 41-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Off the play fake, Heineke.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
That's big Cameron Hayward adding another sack to his career total. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Looking to throw, Heineke finds Johnston.
That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
From the gun, Heineke.
Forced out to his left. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And the play fake, and now Heineke.
He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation, already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Now Heineke. On the out route, he finds Johnston.
So the completion gets him just a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands.
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal.
From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will make it 6-0. So scores on their first two possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
His throw incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here's Wilson.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This now a 3rd and 4.
Now Wilson.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. To throw again is Wilson. Completes it to Austin. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. That good for 22 and a first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive. And here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
42 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Hat tip to that offensive line. They're clearing some holes, even down here deep in the red zone. And that's a nice pickup on the ground on 1st and goal.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Here's Wilson.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the 3 now, here they come on 3rd and goal. Harris. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Boswell's kick is good.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. And the LA offense ready for this next possession.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Heineke. Over the middle and caught by McConkey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
15 yards there for number 15.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
Brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Six-3 is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. As they've got it as we resume action. On play action, Heineke.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Cameron Hayward. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15.
Wide open receiver complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Heineke to throw it. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
And down here, 1st and goal, if it's not there, don't force it. You've got at least 2, if not 3 more shots at it. So that's a wise move to get rid of it.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
And they'll throw again. Heineke.
Dancing to his left. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
DeMarvin Leal fighting through to bring him down that time.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now Heineke. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Alex Highsmith making the nice play and getting the sack.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him.
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal.
From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And they continue to lead in the battle of field goals here. It's now 9-3.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Steelers ready to take over on offense.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Now a 2nd and 10.
From the shotgun, Wilson finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action with Wilson. Finding Williams once more, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Now it's Wilson.
Complete to Austin here over the middle.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Again, Wilson.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
2nd and 10.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And that is incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and that trims the lead to 3. It's 9-6 now.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Chargers offense back onto the field.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
A give up the middle to Dobbins.
And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it.
And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Throwing, Heineke. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Play action now. Here's Heineke.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They'll run. This is Gus Edwards. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away.
Deep to return is Calvin Austin.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Wilson. It's Williams on the catch.
Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Mike Williams.
82 yards. And the Steelers have taken the lead.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he bangs this one through to make it a 13-9 game now. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. It's a foot race. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Chargers. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And that gives him a 3-point lead. And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Here's Mike Williams now as his guys head back out to go on offense. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
On 3rd down, here's Harris. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. He gets it complete to Harris. Just a gain of a couple there, and that will bring up second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Here's one deep for Pickens.
That's caught at the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big pickup of 38.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They hand this off to Harris.
Brought down at the 20. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now Wilson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. He's going to go up top for the end zone.
And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Boswell's kick is good, and we are all tied at 16 apiece. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35. Third and 3. To throw is Heineke.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the 1st down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. A give, Dobbins trying the right side. He'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd down and 6 now. Here's Heineke.
And it's incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Working out of the gun. Here's Heineke.
Escaping the pressure right. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
We have so many different terms for 3rd down, 3rd and short, 3rd and long, 3rd and manageable. How about 3rd and medium? Because that's what this one was. The defense looked like they had him hemmed in, but he gets away, evades the rush, and picks up just enough for the 1st down.
Dobbins running out of the gun.
And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
That's a nice run to get himself back on the horse after his fumble. Nothing spectacular, but a good confidence-building run.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 4. Heineke now.
Being chased out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half.
Looking to throw. Heineke.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Alex Highsmith.
That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
The Steelers offense and Russell Wilson headed back onto the field.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Wilson.
He's got this to Williams, complete.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big pickup of 38.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Harris. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
This a 2nd and 8.
Here's Wilson.
It's Najee Harris now on back-to-back plays with a catch.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now it's Wilson. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. A gain of 7 that time. Second and goal.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Buying time to his left. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Russell Wilson. As time expires in the first half.
And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. So they say no to the field goal try late in the half, and it winds up really paying off as they score on the final play.
Yeah, a little bit of a gamble, but they had some foresight as well because they knew they were going to get the ball to start the third quarter. So they thought to themselves, if we score here, we can double up on back-to-back drives when we start the second half.
So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
The Steelers got a solid performance in that first half from their veteran QB, Russell Wilson. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Here's Mike Williams now as his guys head back out to go on offense. Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes.
To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr.
And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
The Charger defensive unit making their way back out there.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
In motion comes the tight end left.
A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on second down.
Here's Herbert.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 4. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
Cole Holcomb proving too much there for the offensive line. He gets the sack. Well, when you time those screen passes perfectly, they can work perfectly, but that time it took a little too long to develop.
And you zeroed in on exactly what makes that play go. Timing. Because if the timing's off at all, those unblocked defenders coming at the quarterback, they'll put him on the deck.
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal.
From the left hash, this from 39. And his kick is indeed good, and that'll bring him back within 4.
So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in one play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead as they start this drive here.
And that's something to focus on for them as well, because it's not quite no harm, no foul, but the interception, hey, shake it off, move on. Hasn't cost your team the lead, and now it's time to rebound, and the quarterback and his teammates, they can add to the lead with a good drive here.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. That is caught. It's Williams. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 36 yards on the play.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. On the give, this is Harris. And a short gain down to about the 33.
Defensively, Poona Ford with a tackle there.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
72 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football. Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Wilson now off the bootleg. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Well, let's give some credit to the defense. They did a nice job there as they flushed him to his right. But he is able to buy some time, extend the play, and turned it into a short gain.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. To throw is Wilson. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown.
Mike Williams
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Steelers are able to widen their advantage.
Circle that drive, because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes, because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told.
And in the end, it was Mike Williams who capped the drive with a touchdown reception.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well.
And it's a fumble.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. In motion goes the tight end. Here's Herbert. Short throw to Disley. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. Here's Austin.
A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back.
And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
The Steelers offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Play action. It's Wilson. Looking for Austin, intercepted. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going. I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches as we just saw him do there because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins.
And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
52 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
Well, that's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
Justin Herbert looking to pass.
He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll, and now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long.
Herbert now.
And that'll be...
And the ball is knocked out. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity missed.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal.
From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And that'll make this an 8-point game.
Well, the 3 points certainly helps, but you feel like, Charles, at this stage of the game, when you force those turnovers, you need to start converting them into touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised myself because I thought in this situation they were thinking end zone or bust. Now they got to rely on their defense to get the ball back again for another opportunity to get 6 points.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. To about the 33-yard line.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
I have a few questions about that throw because to me there just wasn't a lot there. I thought he tried to do a little bit too much, almost tried to will a receiver open when there was no chance he was going to be. Nice job by the linebacker being all over that one and knocking it away.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop, They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Herbert able to show his wheels as he gets the first.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new. It worked there.
That's out wide for Palmer.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and a yard. Here's a give to Dobbins running right.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Bad news, they didn't get it on 2nd down. The good news is they still only need about 3 or 4 inches here on 3rd.
And the good play callers have looked at both situations. They thought to themselves, okay, this call, I pick up the first down, already ready with that call. If I don't, this is what I'm going to come back with in order to pick it up.
And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Here's a give to Dobbins.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
The home team's offense and running back Najee Harris set to take over once more. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter.
From the gun, it's Wilson. On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 10. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down. Final minute now of the third quarter. Here's Wilson.
Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth.
7 yards there and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Over the middle, complete. It's Williams. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be second down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Play action. Now Wilson.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
This offense so far on third down, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Wilson sliding out of the pocket. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Davis now to return it. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And the Chargers coming out of the field now.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Play action. It's Herbert. Short throw underneath to Hurst. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Herbert. Short throw to Disley. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
The Steeler offense set to regain possession. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Harris starts the drive on the ground. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And that's just an ideal run to start this drive because they're in full ball control mode now. So if you keep ripping off 7, 8, 9 yards of carry, you're going to have a great chance of finishing off this game.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They go play action with Wilson.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4.
Throwing is Wilson.
Here's Freiermuth again.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A handoff for Warren.
And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Harris running straight ahead. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Here's Wilson.
Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to make it 4th down.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
Possession switching back now to the Chargers. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
2nd and 6. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
A big play, 3rd and 2. This crowd dying for a stop.
Another run here with Dobbins.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. Short throw to Disley. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6. An option handoff here to Dobbins.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And Dobbins, he is not going to get there. They stop him short of the line to gain.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The fourth down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
Now a first down carry for Harris.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
They run again with Harris. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They need 12 here. It's third down.
Wilson.
That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth.
And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And it'll be fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
Back to throw here, Herbert.
Finds Johnston.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4.
Here's Herbert.
They set up the screen for Dobbins. Finding space at the 40.
as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Now it's Herbert.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Herbert. And that one complete to his receiver, Palmer. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him, and he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
A give up the middle to Dobbins.
And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal.
This just 32 yards officially from the right hash. And his kick is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
Now a handoff for Dobbins.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Here's Herbert. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Herbert now.
That's to the pylon and incomplete.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal.
From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. The field goal we just saw has this now at a 1-score game. And on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot a bit.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball. But here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that. And that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
Now it's Wilson. Looking for Pickens. He's got him on the out route.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Here's Wilson to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Williams. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
On the give, it's Warren.
And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Now they fake the jet sweep there and a run instead with Harris.
Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here.
Now here's another carry for Harris. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming.
On the give, this is Harris.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Bad time to get a delay of game penalty there. Not that there's a good time, but that makes it 3rd and 6. Now a give. Running left is Harris. And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That first down going to be enough to write a finish to this one. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
So it's a win here for the Steelers, and it was thanks largely due to the play of the quarterback, CD, a guy who's been doing it for a while, and that's Russell Wilson.
Yeah, he did a little bit of everything, didn't he? He had 2 touchdown passes through the air, another one on the ground, and that defense, they really had no answer for many of their drives.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.
The Steelers earned the win at home as we say so long from Pittsburgh.